You're listening to the Love Over Addiction podcast. Hey, it's Michelle. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. I record these in advance. You can hear the birds chirping, and I'm sitting on my back deck. All the kids are still sleeping, and I am alone, which feels like a miracle. Having some alone time, having been cooped up in the house for the last couple months. So I'm reading a book. I've mentioned it before. It's terrific. I highly recommend. It's called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. And I came across a sentence that I thought we could talk about today. I'm going to read it to you. I have a patient who's in a relationship with a guy who doesn't treat her very well, and she won't leave because on some level, she wants to prove to him that she deserves to be treated better. She's never going to prove it to him, but she won't stop trying. As soon as I read that sentence, I thought, oh my goodness, that so applies to our community. The book goes on to say that breakups are awful, but if we don't break up, then we are negligent. Now, the reason why this reminded me of our community is because I thought about the need that we have to prove that we are worth being loved, that we are more important than the alcohol or the drugs, that we are worth getting sober for. I was listening to a podcast this week, and it was a story about a woman a true story, who was married to a man in the mob who was very abusive. And she said, my biggest weakness, my biggest mistake was when he would yell at me, I would fight back. And I thought that was interesting because I remember fighting back so many times. And I always assumed I was fighting because I was being an advocate for myself. I was sticking up for myself. Someone was trying to put me down, and I was defending my morals or my values or my personality. But this quote in this book made me reconsider that and to think maybe it was me trying to prove to my ex-husband that he was wrong, that the awful names that he was calling me or the accusations that he would accuse me of being crazy or dramatic or overreacting or never being able to relax. Maybe I was trying to prove when I was fighting back that was a lie, that he wasn't right. And so here's my question to you today. If you find yourself in a similar situation where you are looking outside of yourself to prove that you have worth, to prove that you actually are good, to try and convince somebody that you are deserving of love and attention, that you are deserving of honesty, of someone getting sober for you, of someone caring deeply about you to the point that they would do anything for you, including showing up at home on time, helping out around the house, not looking at other women or other men in a lustful way, not logging onto the computer and looking at pornography, but rather looking towards you and caring so much about you, about your heart and your feelings and what you're going through, that they are so in touch with who you are and your struggles and your worries and your concerns that they are willing to listen and to stand by you and support you. What if you stopped trying to prove that you deserve that? And instead of looking outside of yourself for that, you gave it to yourself. You started slowly but consistently positive self-talk. And you guys know I am a huge fan of this tool. I use it to this very day, and it has saved me. Instead of arguing out loud, instead of being confrontational, instead of pointing out how somebody could be wrong, or if they are disappointing you or hurting you, what if you walked away and you literally had, it sounds a little crazy, but you literally had the conversation to yourself first. So even if you have to go into a closet, you go into your closet, you shut your door, and you say, you know what? I am okay. I am a great partner to be with. I am funny. I am kind. I am loving. And I don't need to prove or convince any one of these things because I know it within myself. I'm going to give myself permission to feel okay and not look to a sick person for love, to feel better. I'm not going to look outside myself. I'm going to be so gentle and so compassionate and so kind. I'm going to be the answer to my own prayers. I'm going to get still. I'm going to get quiet. I'm going to hear the whispers of God telling me and speaking to me about loving myself, about all the goodness that I have to offer. I'm not going to turn to this outside people, particularly toxic, sick people who need help. I'm not going to fight back anymore. That causes drama and it doesn't work. You're never going to prove your self-worth to somebody else who doesn't have any themselves. It doesn't work that way. No matter how hard you yell, no matter how convincing you are, no matter how much you walk around the house trying to, follow them and get them to see who you really are and what you really deserve, it is not going to work because they don't love themselves. How could they possibly offer you any kind of love or healthiness at this moment? I'm not saying that can't change. If they get sober, if they recover and they work on their healing, then yes, you have a potential of getting the love that you want from the person you are in love with. But until that happens, and even if you are in a relationship with a healthy human being, it's still a great life skill to stop proving to everyone in your life your worth, to stop proving to your parents or your friends or other family members how you deserve to be treated and loved. Let's just hang up that role and start loving ourselves enough where we stop looking outside of ourselves for acceptance. I hope that this has helped you today. I hope that you take some time to just be peaceful, to sit still, to get quiet, to breathe, to remember that you are going to get through this, that your life is going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And most importantly, to break the habit of turning to your partner who is ill and to quit trying to make you feel better and instead make yourself feel better. It's time. You're old enough. You've spent too long in your life feeling empty, waiting for that person to come into your life to fix you, to make you feel whole, to make you feel complete, to make you feel at home. That person is you. You have been your answer the entire time.
This podcast is created for your support, encouragement, and entertainment with Michelle's personal thoughts and beliefs. From one woman to another, bonded together by the fact we love someone suffering from addiction. This is not intended as a substitute for therapy or advice from a professional.